Hi everybody, welcome once again to Iron Crane Dojo. We just finished up another Saturday class and thought I'd share some more of the stuff with you all that we're filming and putting into our archives. And this particular video will respond to some encouragement that I received by email from Chrissy out of New Jersey. And she was interested in some of the breathing drills we were doing and the Qigong exercise, the 7 stars exercise that was previously posted. And what we're going to talk about today is a concept referred to in China as zhangzhuang, or standing like a post. And outside of the internal arts, this is a relatively unknown practice. But you need to really zero in on this because this is the hammer. If you have any interest in the empty force or in what people are doing with projecting qi across distance, no one is really telling you exactly how to get there. You know, there's lots of people that will demonstrate this, and there's lots of people who really have the skill. I have experienced it. If you haven't experienced it, you just have to go on your own personal search until you find someone who can physically demonstrate it to you. But it's a very close-held art, and whenever you do find someone who's willing to talk about it to you, it always gets down to they will encourage you to spend more time standing like a post. While you're doing that, you'll do things like the Tai Chi forms, or push hands, or Tai Chi drills, or Tai Chi sword. All of these are collateral encouragements to achieve the internal stillness that you need to perfect the skill. But again, the hammer is standing like a post. So, standing like a post, I'm just going to cut to the quick here. I'm going to give you an exercise that I evolved over time. And this particular exercise involves 6 stages. And basically, standing like a post is something that some folks will do for hours at a time. And I mean, they will take a position, it might be like hugging a tree, and they will hold it for an extended period. And as a rule of thumb, if it's your purpose to achieve like the hidden power or the secret power or that electric power that gets people jumping, you know, when you touch them, the rule of thumb is that you need 3 years minimum of practicing something like standing like a post for 3 hours a day. You may not want to do that because at the end of the day, you know, what value or what purpose does it serve to you to be able to do that particular type of stunt? You know, it's sort of like breaking. Do you want to spend 4 or 5 hours a week practicing breaking, or do you want to dedicate your focus on other skills? Regardless if you take it down that path or not, there is an internal alchemy that accrues to you, even if you practice it to a lesser amount, and that's the whole purpose of this video. So we'll talk more about that over the next several videos. So I'm going to cut to the quick right now because we have limited time. And I'm going to talk through the positions first. There's basically a rotation through 6 positions. The first position is this. Now, I refer to this as Wu-Chi. Okay, we could talk more about that. Wu-Chi sort of means nothingness, or like the great void. There's other meanings to it also, but you know, you can do your own research on that. I'm relaxed, I'm empty, I'm like these, my arms are like the branches of a tree, I'm firmly rooted, I've got all the points of my foot basically glued to the ground, and there's space in my armpit, almost as though I was holding an egg in my armpit. That allows the energy not to get stuck at the armpit. If you're like this, and you can actually do this, you'll actually feel stuck. Everything shuts down. When you're here, everything's open throughout your entire body. You'll actually feel warmth with your hands, and if you do this and close it down, you'll feel your hands cooling down almost immediately. There's reasons for that, but we're not going to go into the biology. So this is the first position. Okay, once you got the idea about the first position, go to the second position. And the second position is sort of like hugging a tree. We actually sometimes refer to it as hugging a tree. And as you do this, you want to preserve the line. So I want to stand so you have a lateral view. 3 points. You have a point directly through the top portion of your head, cuts through your heart, to the Ming Man, you know, through the Tantien, and to the space down to the floor. And it's sort of like you're suspended almost on a string. You're relaxed and you're maintaining perfect internal balance as you do this. Same space under the arms, same relaxation of the fingers, and just hold. Okay? That's position number 2. Position number 3 is sort of like the smiling Buddha statues that you see in your local Chinatown, if you're fortunate enough to have a Chinatown near to where you live. Here you have it. It's sort of like you're pushing up the sky. Sometimes we'll refer to it as pushing up the sky. And as I do this, I'm relaxing downward. My balance is centered on my spine as though there was a pole through my spine or I were dangling from a string up above, but it goes straight on down. And then my vertebrae can press downward as I do this and relax into the stance, and I hold it. Okay, that's the 3rd position. Now, the 4th position is something we refer to as floating balls. And it's like you're standing waist high in a pond or a lake, and you have maybe basketballs or balloons or air balls on both sides of your body, and your hands are on them, and they're floating on the lake. But as they're floating on that lake, you're sensitive to those energies, and you're trying to feel them. And the hands basically have an awareness of their own. They become connected, but they also become connected with the distance, and then your whole body begins to feel the energy. Now, normally when you do this, you're doing this with stillness. Standing like a post means just that. You're standing like a post, and you're still. But within that stillness, there's these energies fluttering about that you become intimately aware of. And then over time, your mind learns to control them. Okay, so that's the 4th position, or the 4th stance that you're taking in this cycle. The next one, we call it Santa holding his belly. That's as in Santa Claus holding his stomach protruding from his body. And it has this type of an appearance. Okay? The last one is a return to Uchi, or the first one. So the one we spoke about at the very beginning is the closing position. How much time has elapsed?
8.
Okay, we have just a few minutes left here. So what I'm going to do is tell you how I practice this. You can take each of these positions and hold it for as long a period as you wish to hold it, which is how it's normally practiced. If you go to the parks in Chinatown early in the morning, you'll see people holding any one of these positions for extended periods of time. What I've learned over a course of several years of practicing this is that you go through this cycle, hold this for 2 minutes, and you might want to have a cooking watch or a cooking stopwatch that will ring every 2 minutes. Hold this for 2 minutes. Go to here, hold this for 2 minutes. Go to here, hold this for 2 minutes. And go to here, hold this for 2 minutes. 2 minutes and 2 minutes. And that constitutes an entire cycle that will take you 12 minutes. That's the same as a coffee break. In fact, you'd be better served doing that during a coffee break than you would to drink a cup of coffee, though I love coffee as much as the next person. Now, take that and experiment with it for a while. We'll talk more about this. So we're running out of time as I'm talking here. We'll talk more about it in the future. Okay, thanks for taking the time this morning to spend with us and sharing our objectives and putting our archives together. And hopefully this will benefit your understanding of the martial arts and the energies involved. Take care. Good luck.